Let's see here. How do we want to do this? That yellow bucket does not look good.
You want me to move it? I could probably move it out of frame.
Yeah, that would be good. Just take it. Okay, that's good. That is good. The lighting's not great though. Even though this looks worse, we're gonna have to do that so you don't look like a shadow. So take, like, step onto the, close to the edge of the dock on that side, and step backwards along the dock there. Not into the water, obviously. Even though we can see your clearly labeled chest, just state your name and identifying information for people who didn't get to see the last video.
I'm Brandon Boxstance. I am now a junior, or going into my 3rd year this coming fall at South Dakota School of Mines, studying atmospheric sciences, which is the best degree at the school. Just saying, for all those MEs who probably be watching this, your degree is kind of meh.
First question is, how was this year for you overall?
Overall, this year was pretty good. I definitely felt this year was better than last year. I felt both spiritual and academic growth this year that was stronger than last year.
How is that compared to what you were expecting coming back for your second year?
Coming back from my second year, I was hoping to do better than last year. I was definitely, with doing better in school, just getting better grades and just actually learning more and applying myself better. As far as spiritually, just being able to lead a small group this year was really on my mind, and I was hoping that that would help me spiritually as well as help others.
What's something unexpected that happened to you this year?
Something unexpected. I'm gonna have to think about that. I guess the thing that I didn't expect that did happen to me this year was just the peace that I found in God this past year. Coming back to school in the fall, there was a lot of stuff on my mind. There were family matters, there was just the state of the world in general, and then as well as my academic career, and just wanting this year to be better and to come out of this year with better grades and maybe an internship opportunity and just other things like that. And there was a lot of worry on my mind. And then at cross training, that pretty much all that weight got lifted, at least for a time. It was lifted by the grace of God. And I was able to, enjoy the end of last semester. But then this semester, it just worries creep their ways back into your life sometimes. This week I'm feeling peace, but not the same kind of peace that I had last semester at cross training.
So it's something that you learned this year, either something about yourself or about life?
I worry too much. That is by far the one thing that God's taught me. I'm not sure if it's something I'll be able to completely remedy, and I doubt it is. But one of the things that I do think is that God is going to be in this battle with me my whole life, as long as I accept Him and let Him in. And so I have nothing to worry about, despite what's going on in the world, despite whatever family matters are happening, whatever my grades are, that I will be able to continue moving on through Jesus Christ.
You kind of tied that in with my next question already, but what's something that God has shown you or did for you this year?
I mean, this year I feel like has been building on last year as well. Last year, I remember, I think one of the things that I learned the most is that I shouldn't be dwelling on my own. I should start to rely on God more and to allow Him into my life in more places than He was before I came to college. And then I feel like this year's really compounded on that, because of one of the things that's not allowed Him into my life, has kept Him out, is all this worry that I let myself fall into. And just this idea that all I have to do is seek peace from Him and that peace will be with me. It's just very comforting, some of the things I've been learning this past year as well. Just learning more about God's character, especially through my small group. And then here at Chapter Focus Week, it's been nice to see lots of different things coming together. God's grace and His mercy and His love for His people and all people.
And last but not least, what's some advice that you would give to people who are just coming out of their freshman year, going into their first summer break, and gearing up to come back for their second year next fall?
One of the things that I'm a pretty good fan of is goal setting. I think that it's important to set some short-term and long-term goals for your academic life and your spiritual life. And don't become discouraged if some of those goals aren't met immediately or in the way that you would want them to. My goal coming into this year was to lead a small group with Zeke, and obviously in the first semester that didn't pan out the way either of us thought it would. So just having a plan helps, and then when the plan goes wrong, just don't worry, don't become discouraged. Seek understanding from God, and He will deliver you through it. Of course, there's no point in giving advice if I didn't follow it myself, so, after becoming a bit discouraged, seek some counsel with God. and he was obviously saying that your failure is not permanent. You just need to try harder. And so me and Zeke started up again. We actually had a very good small group. The second semester, we talked a lot about God's character in the beginning, and then we moved on to Judges, which just shows this contrast between humans always responding with disobedience and disbelief and just violence and other immoralities, and God always responds with love and patience and kindness and mercy.
So yeah, that's all my prepared questions, unless you just had anything you wanted to say for the internet or your children who will watch this video, or even future you.
I guess the only other thing that I have to say is that I guess one of the things that I'm excited for, at least my near future, is that, well, here, I'm going to make an example of myself. I'm going to go ahead and make a plan. My plan for the summer and then next fall is to lead another small group, and this time I want to do a broader focus on the Old Testament. Just taking Origins here at Chapter Focus Week has really spoken to me, and so I'd really like to just take a group of people through the Old Testament and see all the riches of knowledge that are there.
And maybe just for people who don't know, just briefly explain what Origins is.
So Origins is a track that we're doing here at Chapter Focus Week. Basically, we are going through the entire Old Testament in 1 week. They've used the analogy of flying in a helicopter. Sometimes you're hovering really low to the ground where you can see everything decently. Sometimes you land and get out of the helicopter and look around, look under a magnifying glass and get really deep into what's going on. And sometimes you're doing a flyby from far away just to see the, general beauty that lies in the words of the Old Testament.
Thank you for your time, Brandon.
Thank you.